Hey Scott, Gianmarco Raimondo here. Sorry, I'm just in my car. It's the only chance I had to look at your video. So just jumping right into it. Your driving's actually pretty good. It's pretty quality driving, pretty good quality driving in the sense that you're able to, you know, have distinct sections of your corners for each corner. Your brake, turn in, gas, and exit. So which is good. That's like bottom line, the most important thing to have as a driver. So it's really good to work on. I think you're going to improve quite well from some of the advice I'm going to give you. In order to get faster now with how you're driving, it's just very subtle details in each corner. Because when people think they want to go faster, and when they're in a pretty good driving limit, they think they need to go a lot faster in each corner, when that's not the case at all, right? Whenever you hear an instructor talk about progression and building up your speed, they're very small increments that you need to do. So, what I see generally is your entry speeds are pretty good, but they can be just a little bit faster. So, and you're using all the track, which is good. So we'll try and keep those entry speeds and then have the same throttle points, right? So if we use our reference points where we're turning in, where we're apexing, where we're applying gas, it's going to make it a lot easier to judge how much more of something we need, right? It's going to be easier to notice that, okay? So we'll get started around the 2-minute mark. So you see how there's a bit of a delay in how you're turning in. It feels pretty easy, right? So when it feels too easy and it's a little bit boring, that means there's a little bit something there. If you don't feel the front end sliding a little bit, and if it's just you turn in and it goes, that's an indication that you can push just a little bit more. And trust me, it doesn't feel like much, but if you accumulate that change in each corner, it makes a really big difference on your time, right? And if we're only looking for 1 second, say a lap, or even 2 seconds, it might be 1/10 of a second, 2/10 of a second each corner. Okay, so just keep that in mind. 2/10 of a second isn't a whole lot of time in the grand scheme of things. So it's not a huge change, right? The bigger time difference we need to improve, the bigger our changes need to be. So that's why when you look at F1 drivers and really high-end performance drivers, it's very small changes they're missing to get that little extra step they need. So just keep that in mind. This is good. Really right on the edge of the track, driving the car out, actually letting the car drive itself out, and you're just kind of controlling it. It's good stuff. So here I feel like you're just entering a bit tight. You're just being a bit cautious. Don't be afraid to come to the left side of the track to then bring it back into the right, right? We want to be smooth in doing this because you're kind of in a braking zone, so you don't want to throw the weight around too much. So that's when really slow, smooth hands come into place. But if we're able to even approach it, the left, a little bit wider, so we're more on the left side in the exit, we can then have a wider approach for this long right-hand corner here. Because this corner, it's all just about waiting, having steady hands, a steady foot, right? We're going to keep around 10% throttle just to kind of plow the car around the corner. It's going to understeer all the time here. So we just got to bear with that. But we need to have a nice throttle point. So there's points on the track where we know when to apply certain inputs, but with long corners like this, it's difficult, right? Because you have to almost memorize patterns as to when your reference is coming, because you don't want to get surprised or you don't want to miss it. You don't want to apply too late, apply too early. You're going to get lost when you start doing that. You don't know if you did it correctly, if you did it too slowly or not. So what we want to do is pick a point at apex and then accelerate all the way out. And here you can use more of the track. Let the car come out a little bit more, just a little bit. Like the way you're able to downshift, and you have the coordination to not let the downshift affect your turn in. You get the downshift done, and then you get a nice turn in and really positive hands. It's really good stuff, really good foundation. Here you can hit the curb a little bit more on the inside. So with corners like this, if you know you have to downshift right up after an upshift, you might as well just hold the gear, right? Even if you touch the red line once or twice, it's not going to do anything. That's what the red line's for, so the engine doesn't over rev. So the fact that you're going to touch the red line, you're not going to damage anything, right? Especially if everything's up to temperature. So just so there's less shifting, there's less unstable weight jerking. Sometimes it's easier just to let the third gear rev a little bit higher, and then at that point you're gonna have a lot more engine braking too. So you can just lift off the gas. You might not even need to brake, and it's going to be a lot easier to take that corner. Really good hands. You had one radius steering input, and it just brought you to both curbs. It's like really, really nice. So here you could have gotten on throttle a little bit earlier. You could bring the car in a little bit more, anticipate that the throttle is going to bring the car out more. Okay. But again, really, it's a small detail. Okay. That's what you need to work on, these small little things that are going to accumulatively give you a good lap time. Yeah, see, like here, you really slow the car down. Like this is repeating the lap now, but like you have really good downshifts, and because your downshifts are so good, you're just slowing down way more efficiently. So you're actually over slowing now this corner especially. Because see how you can just turn in and the car just goes right in with no problem. There's no sensation of the tires kind of almost at their overloading point. Right? It's a safe way to drive, of course, and it's a consistent way to drive. But if we want to improve a little bit more, that's what we have to do. Just carry a little bit more speed into the corner. But yeah, that's about it. That's what I see. So generally, it's good stuff. It's just blending. So what I mean by carrying more speed into the corner and blending in more speed, it means to brake the same way, but just release a little bit faster, and then let the car roll more speed into the corner from the braking zone, right? We never want to bring more speed in with the gas. We always want to do it with the brake. So when you want to, accumulatively, progressively build that speed, just slowly release the brake more and more and more, and then you'll find there's a point where it doesn't want to do it anymore, and then just come back a little bit from that, and it should feel a lot better that way. Okay, but anyways, I hope that helped. And again, sorry I'm in my car, but that's as best as I could do. Anyways, good driving. Keep it up. Stay safe, and most importantly, have fun. Okay, take care.